experience here, and we need to work collaboratively to make sure we're taking care of this beautiful pool. We need to sit at that table and understand the concerns. We do have 66% of the vote on that. We can't come in and strong arm and say, you know, 3-2, we win and get whatever we want. We have to listen with an open mind. We have to look at our budgetary concerns. We do have bigger dollars, but that doesn't mean that we can't equally share in the responsibility of maintaining the properties. The other question that I was asked was thoughts on management. My thoughts on management is a board should be overseeing the management of the property. The board should not be taking on the full burden of managing this property. However, you need to provide oversight and governance. One of the questions I was asked was if people kind of inferred that I had an allegiance to to this last board, to Tony specifically, and would Tony be brought back in? Tony will not be brought back in to manage this property. Tony is, and in the last meeting, there was a lot of allegiance towards Tony. Tony has 2010 to 2024. He's on full, you correct me if I'm wrong, almost 15 years of experience, right? He understands the law. He understands the bylaws. He knows them inside and out. He's walked this property numerous times. I think he's a wealth of knowledge. I think we ought to be tapping into that wealth of knowledge. Well, like anything else, you got to take the information in. You're going to make the right decisions based upon that information, and you have a board for a unanimous vote. So let's move forward and use that as an opportunity. But that's where I stand on these issues. And for those of you that are voting or haven't voted yet, I ask very kindly for your vote of support so I can help affect change in a positive way. The floor to David. Do you have anything that you'd like to discuss with the audience?
Not really. I come out. So I mean, I got involved in interest in the board, basically from the budget process. From my perspective, the budget process this year was a disaster, and it should never be repeated. And so, and I'm not gonna sit here and point fingers as to why that occurred, but so that was kind of my interest in running for the board. Maureen talked a little bit about the SERS report. Everyone's got their own opinion about what we should do with the roof on the main building. But what I do know is that the SERS report, as it relates to the roof, is wholly inadequate. That's the most important item in that report. And there is no history section. They just ignore what's been done in the past. And they start off with, we're going to have a $1.2 million assessment. That's not history. So that leads me to believe that their work was not adequate for incorporation into that report.
David, can I clarify on that point? Because that was one of the reasons that I started the whole official documentation. I specifically asked for all communications that was provided to the company that did the structural integrity reserve study. And it was under Robert Killian. It was the walkthrough and inspection that was done on August 28th. There was no communications or emails on the history, like you said. I affirmed that. They were not given the maintenance reports. As a matter of fact, Nicola needed to go back to SK Roofing to get those. I don't know why she couldn't find them, because they were in the filing in the office. And also, I was told that they were given a list of projects that the board intended to focus on 2025.
Right.
One of those was full replacement roofs. Yeah. So there was no substantiating evidence that I could find indicating that we needed a new roof this year. In fact, contradicted, right? It's 5 years, and who knows if we need a new roof or not.
So, So like I said, the work that was done by the outside firm was wholly inadequate. And so that certainly needs to be addressed before we get off square one on what should or shouldn't be done with the roof. So, you know, those are really the two major items that caught my attention, and mostly from the standpoint of we were getting a lot of bad information from the management company, and there didn't seem to be any pushback from the current board members.
Recording in progress.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, David.
So that's
Dennis, does anybody on the phone have any questions for Dennis or I before Dennis has an opportunity to share? Anything to add from anybody on the group? Okay. Sorry, was that you, David?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
No, you can over there.
No, that speaker will pick you right up.
Okay.
Thank you, Jamie, for that suggestion. I think it's working.
Hello to the group and the persons on the phone. I'm Dennis Worley. As a little bit of introduction, I have lived here for 9 years, and I own Avon 116 in the corner, the one with the two plants I'm very proud of. The two things I have alive other than myself. And I have kind of captured my candidacy, so to speak, under three words I call it, the three C's. I come from a marketing background, so I know this kind of things are important. But as far as being credentialed, I am admitted to the bar of North Carolina and to the United States Supreme Court. And I'm a licensed community association manager here in the state of Florida. I feel that I can bring some competency to this board in the way that I served as a law clerk to the Chief Justice of the North Carolina Supreme Court and as an Assistant Attorney General for 9 years. And for 25 years, I've experienced an in-house corporate legal counsel, and I've counseled numerous national boards as both a member of a board and as legal counsel for those boards. And I pointed out three things that I was committed to. One was I was committed to reducing the legal fees. Two, the strategic planning to help enhance our property values. And three, the utilizing committees for research, planning, and fostering community involvement. Well, two of those must have struck quite a nerve, because two of them became the topics of both the very extensive report from the current board and a rather snarky, unproductive email laden with innuendos. So I'd like to clarify a few things. One, I am not alleging any bad faith for the current board about legal fees. I know we have a lot of them. What I am alleging is that my credentials may assist in the future in lowering the cost of those fees, both in the lack of the need to seek outside counsel, if it's something simple, or something that we believe we can rely upon my expertise. Or secondly, I've learned in my years that anytime that outside counsel is necessary, the ability to work in-house with someone who is a lawyer is more efficient, and by definition in the world of the law, efficient with lower fees, because the bill is based upon time. So again, I don't want it to be misrepresented that I believe anything wrong was done. I do believe my credentials could assist this board. And the other would be by reference to property values and the necessary things that are involved with that. We've already touched on how the Middle River Club is a huge element of our property value. So to ignore them is not aiding our property values at all. We do not exist on this island by ourselves. So I think that was an important point about cooperation. Secondly, if we're going to sit around and wait for interest rates to be the reason that we respond, that we don't have 19 units, well, the interest rates are not that high, and they're not going to go back to these pre-pandemic levels anyway. So that's 2 points on the interest rate. It'll take more than that. It's going to take some planning, and it's more than 18 plants, coat paint, and a few signs. Now, all those are improvements, but we're talking about long-term strategic planning across all of our elements that affect our potential of property values. Even with a looming roof replacement that's invading us, looms on our property values. All of these things are interrelated. It is more than a plant, it's more than paint, it's more than just whether there's trash on the ground. And the management company seems to be concerned to any degree with managing a current issue that has no forward forecasting whatsoever. They don't even know what's around the corner. They can barely handle what's in the door. And again, it's not any one person's responsibility. And I don't allege that I have all the answers, but I do believe that we have all the answers amongst us. And not every person who runs for this board will have the same qualifications or the same contributions, but we don't need them to. We need them to have very different ones. And while I am definitely not able to delve into the minutiae of the budget report to the degree that many of the other candidates are, I do have the ability to offer something special in the fact that I do have a different perspective and experience of advising boards. And for that reason, I would hope that you would suggest support my candidacy. And yes, mine are the little green posters that are above the mailbox.
Great. Randy, do you want to go or Jamie? Jamie?
Hi, everyone online. My name is Jamie, and my husband and I own in Devon 403. We've lived here now for about 2 years, and my reason for running is similar to everyone in the room. Mostly, it would be transparency. I think communication is very important, and I think myself and a lot of other community members feel like they cannot get that with the current board and the current management company. And to me, that is just extremely unacceptable at the amount of money that we're paying for this service. So one of the main reasons I'm running is that, and I think another strength that I bring is I'm good at vendor negotiations and really just being on top of that. I think that having strategic relationships with vendors and good relationships with vendors are going to be what ensures good property value and just in general, like maintenance. I think that we need to stop switching around vendors, be very clear with the quality that we're looking from, not write in time checks when work is not completed. So things like that, we do, we pay a lot for these services and to walk around and see a lot of this work, it's just really unacceptable. So I think for me, my main thing is communication, financial transparency, and also just being on top of vendors, having issues with the laundry room, having issues with, issues around the property, on the dock or the pool. It's okay to have these issues. They're going to come up. The property is not going to stay perfect forever, but they need to be addressed with a timeline. What's being done? Like this needs to be communicated to the residents, not walk around for months and still see multiple jobs and things. So that's a little bit about me and why I'm running, and I have similar views to the individuals in this room, and I hope that can support my candidacy.
Great.
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Ray. I live in Devon, 312, and I am running for the board in the hopes to, bring a better situation to all the residents, to be transparent, to hear everyone, to, do those and many other things that the current board and the management is not. I just want to backtrack just for a minute to what both Dennis and Maureen had said about the Middle River Club, the importance of it, and I'm in total agreement with it. If we are elected and we get on the board, I am more than happy to sit down with the other people who are on the board of the MRC and work with them and collaborate and discuss how we can make things better, do whatever we need to do to make it a beautiful place. We do have 66% of the say, as Maureen says. That doesn't matter a whole lot in certain ways, but in other ways it does. The last MRC meeting that I was at, they had spoke about River Shores absorbing the certain expenses of Middle River Club. That is not fair to the residents of River Shores. So once we are on the board, I'm going to make it a point to look at all that and make sure that everything is equal and fair to all the residents. Moving forward and, getting back to River Shores, the present board put up a sign on the corkboards in the hallways by the elevators of their accomplishments. Most of these accomplishments are for the Middle River Club, not for River Shores. So let me clarify that. They talked about first thing is the installation of the call box. Unfortunately, they didn't put that communication out to everyone so that they could register and get their phone number into the call box. I was never notified. I had no idea how to do it. I do not have a 954 number, so I am not in that call box. I don't think that was done very, very well. One of the last things they talk about is an on-site engaged, smart, and friendly manager. I wouldn't agree with that whatsoever. I've had many dealings with this manager, and I would not agree with any of those things. She does not answer phone calls. She does not answer emails. This is not only coming from me, this is coming from many, many residents. She does not return phone calls. So my bigger question is, who on the board is overseeing what the manager is doing? And what is she managing? She's here 5 days a week. She's getting paid an extreme amount of money. And quite honestly, our property should be really shiny, and it's not. So we need to really take a look at that. One of the big things I want to address here are all the mailboxes in River Shores. If you take note, anybody can go look at the mailboxes, you're going to see blue tape on different areas of the mailboxes. Anyone can get in those mailboxes. The locks don't work. The post office has told the manager numerous times that they must be fixed. I have had a conversation with Nicola about the mailboxes. That's a federal offense when you're messing with people's mail. Now, since then, still nothing has been done. I can go and open any of those mailboxes and take people's mail. That's a big issue for people. Wiring or cable, that's why we failed. We're going to get re-inspected. None of that. They did fix the ceiling. I don't know if they fixed the cable. To my knowledge, we have not been re-inspected because I don't see a new inspection sticker in the cab. Could there be one in the office? There very well could be, but that's not where the re-inspection sticker belongs. It belongs in the cab where the residents can see so that they know that the elevator cab has been re-inspected and it's good to go. Have we incurred any fines? I have no idea. I called Elevator Code. They have not gotten back to me on that yet. So if we have incurred fines, that means we're going to have to pay out of our pockets, the residents, which is not fair. The laundry rooms are what they are, and they're not good. Lots of people are complaining about it. They're losing money. They're losing money in the machines. I've lost money in the machines. I've sent an email to the wash company. They've never refunded me the money. Am I going to go up there and start, going at it with Nicola about getting my refund? I've got bigger battles to deal with. She said the Castle Management sent an email out praising themselves on their accomplishments and whatnot. and how they have an interest in the residents' concerns. They don't. They do not. I was at another resident,